There are moments in life when the world appears stubborn, when reality seems to resist the shape of your desire. Yet within you exists a power so vast, so obedient to your command, that even the impossible becomes small before it. You do not realize how potent your inner word is. You do not realize how much creation listens the moment you speak from conviction. And today, I want you to claim that power, not by force, but by repetition, by imprinting your desire into the deepest layer of your being until it becomes the only truth your world can reflect. There is a rhythm to creation. Every thought repeated with feeling becomes a seed that cannot be denied its harvest. When I say repeat this 100 times, I am not asking you to beg, nor to chase, nor to struggle. I am inviting you to build an inner momentum so strong that the world has no choice but to shift. The impossible does not resist you, it only waits for your certainty. And certainty is born from repetition. What you repeat becomes what you believe. What you believe becomes what you expect. What you expect becomes what you live. So say to yourself again and again, it is done. It is mine. My desire is real. My desire is fulfilled. Say it until your voice no longer sounds like a distant hope, but like a remembered truth. Say it until your mind bows to it, your emotions bend to it, and your entire inner world rearranges to hold it as fact. You are not repeating to convince the universe. You are repeating to awaken yourself, to awaken the part of you that has always been the source of every manifested moment in your life. When you repeat a thought enough, it sinks below the noise of doubt and anchors itself in the silence of your subconscious. And once it reaches that sacred place, it takes on a life of its own. You no longer manifest by effort, you manifest by being. Repetition is not mere words, it is alignment. It is ordering your inner world to reflect your chosen outcome. It is reminding your mind that the desire was never outside you, that you were never waiting for something to come, but waiting for yourself to remember who commands reality. When you say something 100 times with intention, you are chiseling a new identity, one thought at a time, until everything within you stands in agreement. Do not underestimate this. Every masterpiece is carved stroke by stroke. Every mountain is moved thought by thought. And every so-called miracle is simply a desire held with such inner loyalty that reality must echo it. When you repeat, you claim. When you repeat, you select. When you repeat, you create. And the more you repeat, the more the impossible begins to soften, to bend, and finally to obey. Try it today. Take the desire you have doubted the most. Take the dream that once felt out of reach. And instead of questioning it, repeat its fulfillment. Feel it being repeated into your subconscious like a steady drum announcing what is already yours. Let every repetition remove a layer of fear, dissolve a memory of failure, silence a whisper of doubt, and strengthen the truth you choose to live. The world around you is nothing but a mirror, and repetition is how you change the face staring back. No one can do this for you. No external force can shape your world without entering your mind first. So speak your desire into your inner self until it becomes the loudest, clearest, most unquestioned truth in you. Repeat it 100 times, not because the number has magic, but because you will feel the shift. You will sense the moment when something inside clicks, when the words stop being words and become reality. That moment is the birth of the impossible. That moment is the unveiling of your true nature. That moment is when the desire you once chased becomes the desire that now reaches for you. So repeat it. Repeat it with faith. Repeat it with calm. Repeat it with certainty. Repeat it until the impossible bows before you, not as a miracle, but as something that was always meant to be yours. You may not realize how deeply repetition reshapes the unseen layers of your being. But every word you speak with intention is like a key turning in a lock that has been waiting for your touch. When you repeat a truth consistently, you are not asking for permission from the universe. You are declaring what already exists in the unseen. You are choosing the state where your desire is fulfilled, and you are choosing it again and again until your mind surrenders to it and your world follows after. There is a sacred persistence in repeating the same affirmation, the same truth, the same claim. It is not mindless. It is not mechanical. It is the steady sculpting of your inner consciousness. Just as water shapes stone through constant touch, repetition shapes faith through constant focus. And you, by repeating a truth 100 times, are allowing that truth to cut a pathway through your doubt, through your old patterns, through every limitation you ever accepted. That pathway becomes the route through which your manifestation arrives. If you knew how obedient your imagination is, you would never fear lack again. If you knew how quickly your world rearranges when you are consistent in your inner speech, you would never chase anything outside you. Repetition anchors the desire so deeply that the outer world must yield to it. It cannot resist the imprinting of your inner certainty. It cannot stand untouched when you declare the same fulfilled truth over and over with unwavering assurance. Every repetition is like knocking on the door of your subconscious, reminding it, this is who I am. This is the life I choose. This is the reality that belongs to me. And eventually the subconscious opens, not reluctantly, but willingly, because you have shown it what to believe. You have taught it what is true for you. You have flooded it with the image of your desire fulfilled until it can no longer hold any opposing story. This is why repetition works beyond logic. It works where effort cannot reach. It works where physical action fails. It works where rational explanations end. Because repetition rewires your inner state, and your inner state is the true architect of your world. The outer world is nothing more than the shadow cast by your inner assumption. Change the assumption, and the shadow must change. Repeat a new assumption often enough, and the shadow transforms completely. Think of the people who transformed their lives not through force, but through a quiet inner decision repeated daily. They spoke their desires into the depth of their being until the desires became identity. When you repeat, I am chosen, you are not begging to be chosen. You are becoming the version of yourself who is chosen. When you repeat, I am wealthy, you are not convincing the world. You are stepping into the state where wealth flows naturally to you. When you repeat, it is done, you are not hoping for completion. You are claiming completion as your truth. The steady repetition of your wish fulfilled is the bridge between the unseen and the seen. It is the bridge between imagination and reality. It is the bridge between desire and manifestation. And the beauty of this bridge is that it is built from simple words spoken with inner conviction. Nothing complicated, nothing difficult. Just you claiming your chosen state again and again until it becomes the only reality you accept. You may wonder why 100 times matters. It matters because repetition breaks the cycle of wandering thoughts. It matters because repetition silences the background noise that has been allowed to influence your life for years. It matters because repetition gives your mind a direction, a target, an anchor. When you repeat something often enough, it becomes the dominant thought. And the dominant thought is always the one that manifests. Repetition makes your desire familiar, and what is familiar becomes natural, and what is natural becomes effortless, and what becomes effortless becomes inevitable. So, when you repeat your chosen truth 100 times, you are not merely performing a ritual. You are altering the very foundation of your identity. You are planting a seed so deeply that it becomes part of your subconscious soil. And once it is there, it grows without your supervision. It grows even when you are sleeping. It grows even when you are silent. It grows even when the outer world appears unchanged. Because the seed knows what it is destined to become, and your repetition gave it the permission to flourish. The world you see today is the echo of your past thoughts. The world you will see tomorrow is the echo of the thoughts you repeat today. So speak with intention. Speak as the creator, not the beggar. Speak as the master of your reality, not the victim of circumstance. Speak your desire into your being until it becomes undeniable, until it becomes the only truth that feels real to you, until the impossible bends itself into your hands. Imagine someone standing before a locked door. They knock once, lightly, then walk away, assuming no one is inside. That is how most people approach manifestation. They speak their desire once, maybe twice, and then walk away because they see no immediate response. But the one who knocks 100 times, the one who repeats without fear, without doubt, without impatience, knows something deeper. They know that the door will open, not because they are worthy, not because they are lucky, but because persistence always moves the unseen, and so does repetition. Repetition is the knocking on the inner door until it opens wide. Repetition is the gentle but persistent declaration of your chosen truth until the subconscious accepts it. Repetition is the quiet confidence that what you assume repeatedly must shape your world. It is not force. It is not struggle. It is a calm, steady unfolding. When you repeat a truth to yourself, you begin to feel it. When you feel it, you begin to live from it. When you live from it, the world reflects it. Every great change begins inside you long before it becomes visible. And repetition is the tool that carves that inner change. It is how you dissolve the old identity and step into the new one. It is how you leave behind the self who doubted, who feared, who questioned, and awaken the self who knows, who commands, who receives. There is a version of you who already has everything you desire. There is a version of you living the life you dream about. Repetition is how you shift into that version. Every time you repeat your chosen truth, you move closer to that version until one day you wake up and realize you have become them. The shift is subtle, but the results are unmistakable. This is not superstition. This is not fantasy. This is the nature of consciousness. You cannot repeatedly occupy a state without manifesting the reality that matches it. And you cannot repeatedly declare a fulfilled desire without becoming the person for whom it is normal. Because you are not repeating for the world, you are repeating for yourself. You are repeating so your inner reality becomes stronger than the outer one. You are repeating until the inner truth overrides the outer illusion, and then the outer world must conform. Imagine your desire as a vibration. Imagine your repetition as tuning yourself to that vibration. At first, you may feel nothing. But the more you repeat, the more you align. And when the alignment becomes complete, manifestation becomes effortless, automatic, natural. You do not have to push. You do not have to chase. You do not have to worry. You simply receive. Repetition brings you into resonance with your desire. And resonance is the language through which the unseen becomes seen. There is a quiet magic in saying the same fulfilled truth 100 times, a magic the impatient never discover, a magic the doubting never taste. But the one who repeats with calm assurance unlocks a level of power within themselves that transforms their life from the inside out. Speak it again. Speak it with conviction. Speak it softly or speak it firmly. It does not matter. What matters is that you speak it until it becomes your nature. Because once it is your nature, reality must follow. Continue repeating. Continue claiming. Continue selecting your fulfilled desire again and again in the silence of your mind. Because repetition does not just attract the impossible, it dissolves the impossible entirely. It lifts you into the state where nothing is out of reach. It awakens the creator within you who has been waiting for your command. There is something profoundly transformative that happens when you continue repeating your chosen truth long after your old self thinks you should have stopped. The old self wants quick proof, instant validation, immediate confirmation from the senses. But the deeper, wiser part of you knows that repetition is not about convincing the world. It is about convincing the inner being who creates the world. And that part of you responds not to logic, not to evidence, not to timing. It responds to consistency. When you repeat a truth 100 times, you impress it. But when you repeat it day after day, moment after moment, state after state, you become it. This is the difference between wishing and assuming, between wanting and knowing, between hoping and embodying. And every time you repeat your desire fulfilled, you sharpen your knowing, you strengthen your state, you deepen your identity. You teach your subconscious that this is the new story, the new direction, the new command to follow. Consistency is the quiet force that rearranges destinies. The world may applaud sudden miracles, but it is the silent, consistent repetition of inner truth that produces them. Every time you repeat your desire fulfilled, you are setting a new frequency within yourself. You are aligning your inner world with the version of you who already has it. And as you continue, the gap between who you are now and who you want to be closes rapidly. Repetition dissolves confusion. It erases conflicting thoughts. It wipes out inner noise. And soon, only one truth remains. The truth you have been feeding your subconscious with every repetition. Your subconscious never argues with repetition. It never rejects it. It never questions it. It simply absorbs it as fact. And what it accepts as fact, it must express. Think of your mind as a garden. Your repeated thoughts are the seeds. Most people scatter their seeds randomly. One of hope, one of fear, one of doubt, one of desire. No wonder their harvest is chaotic. But you are choosing your seed. You are planting the same truth repeatedly in the same fertile soil until the seed takes root so firmly that it cannot be uprooted by the storms of doubt or the winds of delay. This is the power of repetition. It is not desperate. It is not impatient. It is intentional. You repeat because you know creation responds to consistency. You repeat because you know your inner world shapes your outer world. You repeat because you have chosen a new identity and you are teaching your mind to accept it completely. There is a moment in repetition, sometimes subtle, sometimes overwhelming, when the words sink deeper than ever before. A moment when your body softens, your breath deepens, and a quiet certainty rises from within. This is the moment when the subconscious accepts the new truth. This is the moment when your desire shifts from imagination to inevitability. This is the moment when manifestation becomes a natural consequence. You may not feel it immediately. You may not know exactly when it happens. But trust that repetition is working beneath the surface of your awareness. Trust that every time you affirm your desire fulfilled, something is shifting, aligning, solidifying. You are not repeating for nothing. You are repeating to awaken the truth that was always meant to be yours. The words you repeat are not merely sounds, they are frequencies. And frequencies shape reality. When you repeat your chosen truth, you are tuning yourself to the frequency of your desire. At first, you may feel out of sync, just as a musician feels out of tune when adjusting their instrument. But with repetition, the tuning becomes exact. You begin to feel aligned. You begin to feel connected. You begin to feel the reality you are creating. And the moment the inner resonance is perfect, the outer manifestation becomes effortless. You do not chase a radio signal. You tune to it. You do not chase manifestations. You tune to them through repetition. You do not force reality to change. You align yourself with the version of reality that already exists within consciousness. And you maintain that alignment by repeating your chosen truth until it becomes your natural state. Repetition is the art of becoming. Every time you repeat a fulfilled state affirmation, you are rehearsing a new identity. You are stepping into the shoes of your future self. You are embodying the energy of someone who has already received their desire. And the world responds to your embodiment far more than your words. There is a vast difference between saying, "I have it," and living as if you do. But repetition turns the statement into a feeling, and the feeling into a state, and the state into your new normal. You repeat until the words no longer feel external or imaginative. They feel familiar, comfortable, inevitable. This is the moment when manifestation breaks through. The key is not intensity. The key is not dramatic emotion. The key is simply consistency. Steady, calm, unwavering repetition. Soft repetition works. Firm repetition works. Whispered repetition works. Silently felt repetition works. What matters is not how you repeat, but that you repeat with the knowing that every word becomes a seed of form. The outer world often tries to influence you, distract you, or pull you back into old assumptions. But repetition is how you stay anchored in the new. Every repetition is a reminder, I choose this reality now. Every repetition is an inner declaration, this is who I am. Every repetition is a step farther from the old state and deeper into the new one. You cannot occupy two states at once. You cannot be the doubter and the receiver. You cannot be the old self and the manifested self. But with repetition, you dissolve the old identity and embrace the new gently, naturally, consistently. As you continue repeating your chosen truth, something extraordinary happens. The desire stops feeling like something you want and starts feeling like something that belongs to you. And when something feels like it belongs to you, it manifests with ease. You do not question whether your name belongs to you. You do not doubt whether your reflection belongs to you. In the same way, your desire must become an unquestioned part of your inner identity. Repetition makes this possible. Imagine repeating the same fulfilled state truth for days, weeks, months, not out of desperation, but out of love, out of certainty, out of the understanding that every repetition is a step toward your higher self. By the time you reach the 100th repetition, something inside you softens. The old resistance begins to fade. The old fears begin to dissolve. The old limitations begin to crumble. You are not merely repeating words. You are rewriting your destiny. You are imprinting a new pattern into your subconscious. You are impressing a new story onto the canvas of your life. You are choosing a new outcome and reinforcing it until nothing within you opposes it. The world you live in is not fixed. It is fluid. It responds to your inner assumptions. And repetition is how you shift your assumptions deliberately. You are not waiting for life to change. You are changing your inner state until life has no choice but to reflect it. This is why repetition must be steady, sincere, and consistent. You are not fighting the old story. You are replacing it. You are not battling your doubts. You are starving them by feeding your new truth. You are not forcing anything. You are aligning. You are tuning. You are selecting your reality with every repetition. Repetition makes the impossible possible because repetition removes the inner barriers that label something as impossible. Once the label is gone, the manifestation flows in naturally, effortlessly, as if it was always within reach. And truly it always was. The impossible is simply the unclaimed. It is the state you have not yet repeated yourself into. It is the reality you have not yet chosen often enough to make it yours. But the moment you commit to repetition, the impossible becomes a matter of time, a quiet unfolding rather than a distant dream. You may wonder how long to repeat. Repeat until the desire feels real. Repeat until the desire feels familiar. Repeat until you feel the shift inside you. Repeat until the words become your identity. Repeat until you no longer need to repeat, because the assumption has taken root so deeply that it lives within you without effort. Let the world say what it wants. Let circumstances show what they will. None of that matters compared to the power of your inner repetition. The outer world is slow, the inner world is immediate. And when the inner world is convinced, the outer world must eventually follow. So continue repeating. Continue stepping into the state you desire. Continue choosing your truth with every breath, every thought, every silent repetition. The future is not something you wait for. It is something you create, word by word, repetition by repetition, state by state. And the more you repeat, the more the impossible begins to look like destiny. And now you stand at the edge of a new life, a life shaped not by chance, not by effort, not by circumstances, but by the quiet, unshakable power rising within you. You have learned that repetition is not a ritual. It is a declaration of identity. It is the moment you choose yourself, the moment you choose your desire as truth, the moment you refuse to bow to the illusions of the senses and instead align with the reality already alive in your imagination. So step forward now with the certainty that what you repeat becomes what you receive. Speak your chosen truth until it is carved into the deepest part of you. Repeat it until the world bends around your assumption. Repeat it until the impossible loses its meaning. Repeat it until life kneels before your decision. You are not hoping anymore. You are claiming. You are not waiting anymore. You are becoming. You are not wishing anymore. You are creating through the power that has always belonged to you. Repeat your truth with the knowing that creation obeys. Repeat it with the knowing that your inner world is the command center of your destiny. Repeat it with the knowing that every word spoken with conviction is a step toward the inevitable. And when you do, life will rise to meet you. Reality will rearrange itself around you. And the impossible will not just manifest for you. It will become the most natural thing you have ever known.